Now let's move to our next step, that is insert the records. Okay, where we are inserting the details into this inventory management website by extracting the details from the files that are present in the insert folder. So let me write the second step, insert the records. So now we have to make this keyword defined. So for that we can create a keyword cell and then write keywords. Now we can just write insert the records. Okay. So now we have to add some functionalities to this keyword so that it can do the it can actually insert the record into the inventory management website. So what are the steps that we have to perform under insert the record operation? So for the inserting the records into the inventory management website, the bot has to loop through each file that are present in the insert folder and extract the product name, seller and the price details, and it has to insert into the inventory management website and then create a record by clicking on the create button. So this is the process it has to do under insert the record step. So let's do the step. So for it actually need to iterate through each file. So we have to iterate through each file, and to read it we actually require the file path. For retrieving the file path that are present in that insert folder, we can utilize a keyword called list files in directory keyword, which will actually help to retrieve the file path of all the files that are present in the insert folder. And this keyword is coming under rpa.file system library. So if you need to know more about this keyword, that is list files in directory. Yeah, you can see here. So you can see that it will actually list all the files in a given directory. Okay, and it is coming under rpa.file system library. So for using this keyword, we have to first import the library. Oh, sorry. We have to first import the library rpa.file system. Yeah. So let me just use this keyword, and actually it will return a list of all the file path that are present in that particular folder. So so we have to store these details in a variable, that is the output of this should be stored in a variable. So for that we can write this keyword here after 4 spaces, 1 2 3 4. Let me create a variable which will store all the file path, that is a files. These files will store all the file path of the all the files that are present in the insert folder. Click. And let me just copy this keyword name. So this to this keyword we have to pass the folder path of the insert folder. Okay, so the this insert folder is present in our current directory under the inventory management folder. So let me just write the file path which is should be passed as an argument to this keyword. So it is under the current directory. Okay, and inside the inventory, sorry, inside the inventory management, and insert just close it here, and then we can use it. Okay, so here we are passing the folder path to this list files in dictionary keyword, and it will retrieve all the file path of all the files that are present in the insert folder and store it in the file variable, which is actually a list. So after retrieving all the file path, now we can iterate through these a file path that is present in this file list to retrieve the data and then inserting the data into the inventory management website. And for iterating through this list, we can use for loop. So we can use for file in files. Since it is a list, so we have to specify at. Okay, so that this loop can understand that this files is actually a list. So here we are actually iterating through each file under this files. Now under this, what you have to do? You have to extract the data from the PDF, and then you have to insert the extracted data into the inventory management website to create a record. So the first step is we have to extract the data from the PDF. And if you look at our steps, that is insert the record, update the record, and delete the record. The common thing among these three steps is that we have to extract the data from the PDF. Okay. So if we can make a custom keyword which can extract the data from the PDF and we can utilize in all our steps, the advantage would be our code look much more in simple way and it would be easier also. So what we can do is we can create a custom keyword that can extract the details from any PDF by providing a file path as an argument to that keyword. It can extract the details from the PDF by which we require, and then we can do that extracted data for creating, updating, or deleting a record. Okay, so let me create a custom keyword for that, which actually helps to extract the data from the PDF. For that, we can create a keyword. So let me give a name to this keyword as extract the data from PDF. So it will actually helps to extract the data from the PDF by providing the file path of the PDF as an argument. So in order to make this keyword to accept argument, we have to provide the argument keyword so that we can accept a file path as an argument. So for that we can provide the argument keyword. So 1, 2, 3, 4 arguments. Yeah, the 1. So here you specify the argument to be passed, that is fine. Now you can define the steps that you need to do to extract the data from the PDF. So the first step is you have to read the PDF file. So for reading the PDF file and to extract the details that are present in the PDF file, you can use get text from PDF, which is coming under rpa.pdf library. So let me search the details. Get text from PDF. Yeah. So by utilizing this keyword, it actually helps to retrieve the data from the PDF in a dictionary format. That you will see how actually we will see later, like how the data is being extracted in what format by utilizing this keyword. So we can utilize this keyword to retrieve the data from the PDF by providing the PDF path as an argument. So let me just save this. And before using this keyword, we have to import this rpa.pdf library. So for using this keyword, so rpa.pdf, and now we can use this keyword. Let me just, so this data will store the result of this get text from PDF. Okay, so actually it is a dictionary. So let me just pass here get text from PDF, and you have to pass the PDF file path here as an argument. Let me pass the PDF file path as an argument. Yeah. So actually this data will be in a dictionary format, like in a dictionary format with the key name as the page number and the value as the data that is present in the each page. Okay. So if you need to know how the data will be look like, so let me just print the details. So by printing the detail, you can get to know how the data should be looked like when you are extracting the data from the PDF by using this keyword. So for that you have to print the data to this console. You can use another library. uh, Actually this library is used for debugging purpose only. rpa.core.notebook. So you can print the details to this lab by using this keyword. This is only just used for debugging purpose to show how the data is looking like. So there is a keyword called notebook print which will actually display the details in the notebook. Okay, so let me just print this data keyword. Okay, and see how it's look like, or how the data actually is being look like. So for running this keyword, or we can actually able to run this keyword individually also. So how? Let me just use shift plus enter to run the setting cell, then this keyword, then this keyword. Now you can see that there is a button. So when you click on this button, and also if you provide a file path as an argument, then if you click on this button, it will actually execute this keyword. So let me just provide a sample file path from which you need to extract the data. Let me take the insert folder and give any file as an argument to this keyword. Yeah, laptop.tdf. And let me pass a file path here. In this view also you can able to execute any keyword by using this method. Then click on this extract data from PDF. Oh, I think there is some issues. Oh, I think let me just pass the file path as like this. dir. Then you can use inventory. Any shipment insert just pass any file name here. Oh, we just take this file path here. Okay, and let me just run this and extract the data. Oh, I think there is some issues. Let me just double code. See, yeah, it worked fine. So you can see here like how the data is actually obtained while from the PDF. You can see this in a dictionary format. So actually you can see the key is actually the page number, and the value is the content that is present in that particular page number. So since there is only one page in that PDF, you can get only one key value pair. Okay, so now if you want to extract the value from that dictionary based on the key value, you can just use this format. So if I need to display that value also here, you can use notebook.print to get the value based on the key name. So our key is actually 1 here. So if you provide like this, and just if you execute it again, I think let me just close this and save it and just try to run it again. Sorry. Just just add this double slash here, because only in that way it can identify the file path. Just add it here. Yeah, yeah. Now you can see that like actually I'm displaying only the key value or the value from the first page. Now you can see that in this particular format you will get the data. So this data is only, so the data that is displayed here, it is actually present in the first page, because here we are actually passing the key name or the key name to this dictionary variable data. So here you are getting the value that is present in that dictionary based on this key name. So in this way the data is being obtained here. So now what you need to do is you need to extract the product name, seller and price. And for extracting these details, it is best practice that you can utilize regex. So by using regular expression, you can able to extract the product name, seller and price. So for that, there is a keyword which is called get regex matches. Let me just type it here. Get regex p matches. Yeah. So this regex p matches actually helps to extract the details from a string based on the regex pattern which is being provided, and it is coming under string library. So for utilizing this keyword we can use string library. So let me just copy it here. Let me just import the library. Library is equal to rpa. Sorry, rpa is not required. String. Okay. Oh, sorry. String. And now so you have to build the regex pattern to extract the details from this data. So for that, to build the regex we can use a regex tester. Actually you can use regex 101. Sorry, let me open here. uh, regex 101. So using this you can build the regex to, like you can test your regex here also. So let me copy the sample string that you need to test. This is our sample string from which you need to extract the data. So now based on this you can build your regex pattern. So first you need to extract the product name. So extracting the product name you can utilize this regex pattern. Copy this here. So if you just do a match, yeah, you are able to extract the detail. Cool. So using this regex you can able to extract the product name. And let me copy this regex pattern here. And now you can just comment it off because you are not need this one. Now, so actually this get regex matches will actually use the regex pattern to find the possible matches in the given string and output a list actually. So and so we can store the details or the output that we are getting from this get regex matches in a variable. So we can create a variable called product name here. So this product name will actually store the list of all the matches that we have obtained using this get regex matches activity. So let me just use get rejects matches. Now you can see that we have to pass two arguments. One is a string from which we need to extract the data, and second is a rejects pattern. So the string actually is what? The string is actually this data underscore. So this is actually our string from which we need to extract the data. So let me copy this string here and pass it as an argument to this get rejects matches one. Yeah. So this is actually our string from which we need to extract the data, and the second is the pattern. We can specify the pattern here too. 1 2. So the pattern is this. Sorry, the pattern is actually being provided here. So this is our pattern. Yeah. So by using this, you are able to extract the possible matches in this string variable and store in a list that is product name. Okay, and next, similarly, you can do the same operation for extracting the details, seller details, and price details. For that, we can use seller, which will actually store the output of the of this keyword get rejects matches. Now we have to pass the string as an argument to this keyword. Data underscore 1, and next we have to pass the rejects pattern. So we can create a rejects pattern for extracting the seller name. So for that, just instead of product name, just pass a seller name. Seller, yeah, seller. You can see that you can able to extract the seller name using this rejects pattern. Let me copy this and pass it as an argument. One. Okay, and next you can extract the price. So for that, you can use price. Yeah, using the same rejects keyword get rejects matches. Now you have to pass the string argument 1 2 it underscore 1. Next you have to pass the rejects pattern by which you need to extract the price details. So for that we can go to rejects 101 website to create the rejects pattern. Oh yeah, price. Yeah, now you are able to extract the price also here. So let me copy this and paste it here. Yeah. So if you need to know, or if you need to display the values of these rejects pattern result, that is product name, seller, and price, and how they look like, we can use the notebook print method to display these values. That is notebook dot print, and we can print these values separately. So product name. So we can print the product name, and similarly we can print uh, the seller, and similarly we can print the price. Oh, and let me just execute this. Yeah, and pass the file path as an argument to run this keyword. Just add a double slash. Sorry. Yeah. Can you utilize this here Let me extract. Sorry, actually, which one? Okay, sorry. Uh, just copy it here. Hmm, just do simple thing here. Yeah. Now we can. Let me copy this here. Sorry. And then click on extract. Sorry. I think there is some issues. Yeah, I think we have to execute these settings because this keyword doesn't know whether this get rejects matches was actually imported or the string library was imported. That is why we have to rerun the settings again, and then we have to run this. Copy. Yeah. Now you can see that it is able to extract the details from this PDF file, laptop underscore batteries, and is able to extract the product name, the seller, and price. And you can see that it is in the form of list. Okay, so to extract the details from the list, we can use the index method to extract the details from the list. And let's say if you need to extract the, let's say if you need to extract the element, we can use this 0. So 0 actually represents the first element in the list. So if you run it again, yeah, sorry, just execute and pass it again. And we can see that it is able to extract the product name, seller, and price from that particular list. Okay, so this product with specifying the index, it actually helps to extract the price, seller, and the product name respectively. And since there is only one detail that is being present in these files, so there is only need of this 0 index because only one details are being presented here: laptop batteries, seller name, and price. Okay, now after extracting these details from the PDF, next is you have to like return these details. Since this extract the data from PDF is actually a function, so we have to return this value so that whenever we are using this keyword in any other keyword, we have to retrieve this product name, seller, and price from this extract the data from PDF keyword. And to return these values from the keyword, we can utilize return from keyword, which is actually a built-in keyword. And this return from keyword actually returns the value whenever this function is being running. So we have to return these three values. So let me specify the three values here as an argument after two spaces, 1 2. And let me specify the first argument, 1. Second argument, because these are details we require, not the list. Okay, so let me pass third argument. So now we can utilize this keyword, which is so now we can utilize this keyword in this insert the record keyword to extract the details from the PDF by providing the PDF file path as an argument. So let me just provide this keyword name here, 1 2 sorry 1 2 3 4, and let me just provide the extract the data from PDF. Now we have to provide the file path as an argument to this keyword. me provide the file path 1 2. So file path is actually files. Now sorry, actually this extract the data from PDF will actually return three values. One is product name, seller and price. So we have to store these details as an output from this keyword. So for that we can create three variables: product name, seller and price, which will actually store the result from the extract the data from the PDF in order. So let me create the variables here first. Let me just delete this here, and let me create the variable which will actually store the product name, then in next, like say after first it is returning product name, next it is returning seller. Okay, seller, and third it is returning price. Okay, yeah, now you specify, yeah. So the output of this extract the data from PDF actually return three values: product name, seller, and price. So these three values: product name will store the product name details, seller variable will store the seller details, and price will store the price details. Okay, because since the product name, seller, and price are coming in order, that is why we have give the variable in a particular order. Now, after extracting these details, the next step is what? You have to enter these details in this input field, and then you have to click on create button. So let's do that. So for inputting the text, we can utilize input text keyword, which is coming under rpa.browser library. So here we have to provide two arguments. One is the locator of the input field, and second the text that we need to add to the input field. So first we can provide the locator of the input field. So for specifying the locator of the input field, that is product name, just right click on the product name, click on inspect, and let me click it again. Yeah. So let me write a XPath for this keyword, which will actually act as locator for this input field. You can utilize ID or any other thing, but here I am using XPath here. So let me just zoom a little bit. Yeah. So let me write the XPath here for this product name keyword. For product name input field, I am using ID as the attribute here for XPath. Input. Now you can see that this XPath is able to identify the product. So let me just copy this and paste it as an argument, which is actually located 1 2. Yeah. Now we have to pass the text or the input text that we need to add to this input field. So our input text here is the product name. So 1 2. We copy this and 1 2. Yeah. So similarly, we have to do for other two fields as well. So let me just use input text. Similarly, we have to pass locator for. So similarly, we have to pass locator for seller. Just click on right click, and we have to write the uh, XPath for this seller input field. That I'm writing the relative XPath here because it is more reliable. So let me just write yeah. Let me just copy this here and pass it as a locator. Next is we have to pass the text which we need to write. Pass the text that is the seller. The seller is a variable which actually contains the seller detail. We pass it here 1 2. Yeah, similarly we have to pass to text. So next we have to input let me open, have to input the price detail. So we have to write the locator for this. So locator is price, input id equal to price. Yeah, just this here 1 2. Now we have to pass the text which we need to write in the input text keyword. So the text is price variable. So after inputting all the details, what we have to do is we can click on the sorry, actually, yeah. So after inputting all the details, we can click on create button. So to create the record in this website. So for that, what we can do is we can use click button keyword, which is coming under rpa.browser line. Use click button keyword. So here we had to pass the locator of the click button keyword. And what so if you need to know what are the locator we can specify for click button keyword, just search on this keyword explorer, and you can see that you can pass either id, name, or value, okay, as the locator, or you can pass the XPath also, it's also fine. So here I am utilizing the id, since the id variable is available for this particular create button. So for that we can just click on inspect and just right click again, and you can see the id here, button create. So you can specify it as a locator, and 1 2 id. Yeah. So since as you see in the demo, the process is very fast. So if you make this process a little bit slower, you can see what is actually happening in this process. So for that, like after inputting the text, you can provide a delay. So for providing the delay, we can use the sleep sleep keyword, and you can provide the time, how much time it will need to provide the delay. So we can provide a delay of, let's say, 3 seconds to see what's the process. Okay. Sometimes the delay is extremely useful because sometimes it's a process very fast, sometimes it may not able to find the required element due to its fastness. So we may have to wait for some time. There we can utilize this sleep keyword so that we can provide a delay between our automation process. Okay. So this is a step that we have to perform for every file that is present in the insert folder. So let me just end it. Cool. Sorry. End. So this is the step that we have to perform under insert the record keyword. So what we have done here is we have retrieved all the file path that is present in the insert folder. Then we iterate through each files in the insert folder, extract the data from the PDF, then input these details into the uh, inventory management website and create the record. So that's what we had done here. So let's just run it to see whether it works fine or not. Let me just close it here and just restart the kernel. Yeah, can just run it to see whether there is any error or not. Yeah, so it's working fine. Yeah, since I had provided a delay, that we can see that whenever we are entering the product name, so it will wait for some 3 seconds, then it will click on create button. because I added this delay because the reason is you can see what's actually happening while creating or how the record is being created. That's why I have shown or I have added that sleep keyword that you can see. So you can see our step is actually working fine.